What if I told you that for $1, I'd give you my exact blueprint to how I stopped struggling and started winning on social media? Yes, for $1, I will give you my simple 3-step content creation process, social media hacks, as well as the exact list of resources I use to crush it on social media. Go over to theamazingplaybook.com and get your copy of my new ebook today. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Charles Oglesby, also known as Todd Millionaire. I want to personally invite you to join our Todd Capital Business Development Mastermind. This mastermind is kicking butt. We have weekly accountability sessions. We're setting goals. We're making sure that we're hitting our targets. We have over 20 lectures from the likes of Living Rent Free, Andre Hassett, Erica Williams, The Wealth Dad. The list goes on and on. We're providing value. We want to get you to a 6 or 7 figure business. If you're somebody who has a business idea, hasn't yet launched it, or you just launched it and you're looking to take it to the next level, we want to work with you to help you take that business to the next level. Take it to 6 and 7 figure numbers. I look forward to seeing you. Click the link in the bio and let's kill it.
You know how they say everything attached to me wins, and that's the goal and that's the mindset I have. But when I put something out there, I want people to know, like, this came from a place of love. Every stitch, every piece of fabric, every stroke, like, this came from a place of love. It's come from it. If I've done it, I'm in a great place mentally. I can't make nothing if I'm bad vibes, negative vibes. I'm always in a good place when I create.
3, 2, 1, roll 5.
It's time to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing. That's it. This is the AMAZIN Podcast. And we're featuring the amazing stories of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners sharing their journey to being amazing. That's right. Average to Amazing presents the AMAZIN Podcast. And now, here's your host.
Talk to him.
Mr. Amazing himself.
Don't move. Keep it locked.
You already know.
Henry Goss.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AMAZIN Podcast, where we bring entrepreneurs, business owners, and creatives to share their journey of how they unlocked their greatness and became amazing. Now, this episode, this young lady needs no introduction. She's an artist, an entrepreneur, a go-getter, just all around amazing. I've known her for literally over a decade, and she never ceases to amaze me. So, Mickey, I'm going to get off the mic. I'm going to let you go ahead and tell the world about yourself and a little bit about what you do.
Hey, I like that tag, never cease to amaze. That's kind of been, our something that we both have lived by, me, my family, and then, you kind of came on board, and that's stuck. But I'm Mickey. Like you mentioned, I think you kind of hit all the bases there. I'm an artist, an entrepreneur, a go-getter. Somebody asked me to do it. I think I could get it done. It's really no task that somebody has brought to me that, shoot, I can't make happen. So right now, I just recently launched a collegiate apparel brand called Campus Activity. It has been going great. So that's been my newest business venture. Mickey and Art has been with me. Basically, that's who I am. That's my life. That's the gift that God gave me. And I just decided to put a name to it, from graduation caps, tennis shoes, jackets, paintings. I think I've done like a billion things for you, Henry. It just started in middle school, tattoos, like whatever, you name it. I think I've done it. And so, it's kind of brought me to where I am today, like figuring out a way to profit off of my purpose. So.
I like that you said that, because again, we're very similar in that, because we both have figured out a way to take our purpose and our passions and you basically monetize it, which
right.
is a scam in itself. That's a blessing, because a lot of times, it's hard for people to first figuring out what your purpose is, and then figuring out the passion, and then to wrap that all up and figure out how you can package that and, offer that to the world. It's tough to do, but, we were able to do it. And you were absolutely correct. I literally remember the beginning of our friendship on the business level, because it started, I think it started back in 2015, because that's when I did the like ties and the accessories, and you got a box. You were the first person to get a box. You're the reason I even thought to even create something like that, because you was like, hey, I want to get this for this person, and it was like a big deal because they wore it at press day.
Yeah, it was Swag Media Day.
Yeah. It was funny because that moment empowered me to be like, oh yeah, I can do this. And
yeah,
then,
you made like bow tie to Skittles and everything.
Yeah.
I remember.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Henry Amazing, and I just wanted to take a moment and give a shout out to Frank Kev, Zay Heath, Cam Kudosa, and Dre Lavish, the entire Full Cycle Music Group family. This is our song of the week, Love Love, by Frank Kev featuring Zay Heath. Enjoy it.
Put my wrist up, now put my wrist down. Ain't nothing to it but to do it for the checks now. Keep that same energy you had when I come round. Cause when it come down to it, don't care what you say now. But it's all love. No, it's all love. No, it's all love. No, it's all love. It's all love. I can't take no stuff. I can't be no scroll. This is all love. Hey.
Yes, that was Love Love by Frank Kev featuring Zay Heath. Louder Than Words is out everywhere. Make sure you go support and go stream. Now let's get back to the show.
So
we sure did a lot of like back and forth. Black, educated, and dope AF. Remember that? Yeah.
Like you got chirping me, then turn to switch around. This is so funny because look at how God worked. I got my grad cap design. I meet someone, we get married, and then boom, my wife comes to you. Her grad cap design.
Doing your children's cap.
And it's like, man, look at God. Like, I'll say this when it comes. Well, first off, support your friends. Like, to everyone,
100%.
Support your friends, and especially when your friend does excellent work. Like, keep supporting them, because when you support your friend or a small business, you're not just supporting that business. You're helping to make someone's dream come true, and the investment you make in them, they're able to invest in other people as well.
Right.
So just know that when your investment is really just a seed to help everyone grow.
I like that.
Hey, look at me dropping bars. I'm gonna keep this. But it's so funny because I don't get in this mode until I'm on, like I'm live doing it.
This is your happy place. This is your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, now that we realize that this is my thing, like, talking with, go-getters, entrepreneurs, things of that nature, I want to talk about your thing with just your art, creativity, and I want to go back to the beginning. Like, when you first picked up a paintbrush or a stencil, like, tell us about that and the feeling you had.
Okay. Crazy. This is, I don't know, it's no shock value, really. My mom said she knew I was an artist at the age of 3 when I drew her a picture of an animal kingdom, and she didn't have to ask me what any of the animals were. It was a tiger, pig, and a lion or something like that. And she said I didn't have to say, Michaela, what's this? And so after that, my mom poured so much into, my mom is a believer in the arts. She's a supporter of the arts. She loves that. So crayons, coloring pencils, anything like that, my mom was buying. And after that, it was just like, I didn't really, in school, in JPS, so to say, I didn't really get art teachers that poured into me. So I would always just do my own thing. So again, that's why I would say that this was a talent that God gave me. It's something that I just always knew how to do. And I don't know where it came from or when it started. But I can tell you the first time I picked up a paintbrush was my senior year. The last semester of my senior year, I took art. We all take art, and it's like, whatever. But I had a teacher. He's actually a Jackson State alum. His name is Tony Davenport. I want to say he's one of your frat brothers, I want to say, but I could be wrong there. But his name's Tony Davenport, and it was a Martin Luther King art contest. And so I got my pencil. One thing I always do, I used to draw. I drew people. I sketched pencil, paper. That was kind of my thing. I did not know how to paint. Paint was expensive. I was never taught how to paint. And so I was going to enter the Martin Luther King contest. And he said, no, I'm going to take your pencil. You're going to paint for the contest. I was like, heck no, like, I don't know how to paint. I'm not going to lose. Like, not to nobody at Lanier. Y'all got me messed up. I'm not losing. So he gave me a paintbrush, walked me through what to do. And of course, I did not win. I came in second place and was pissed. I was livid. But my art was beautiful. I just think it was just like, this is the first painting I've ever done of a person. It was rough around the edges. But losing like literally ticked me off. But after that, he just kept saying like, I see something in you. I see something in you. I'm going to teach you how to paint, and it's gonna pay off. And so shout out to Tony Davenport. I don't know where he is in his world. I think he's still around here in Jackson, but shoot, like without him, it wouldn't have paid for a lot of things in college. I probably wouldn't be here. He was a godsend, like when I didn't even know I needed it. So shout out to him.
What's up, everybody? I know you're enjoying the show. I wanted to take a moment and let you know that you can connect with me on Instagram and Twitter at Henry Amazin. That's HenryAmazin. And click the link in my bio and get your amazing shirt today. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Now back to the show.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Mr. Davenport. I'll say it is so important for people to have that positive support system.
Yeah.
And then I'll also say it's important for us as people to, like, when you see someone has a talent or a passion that they're trying to get better at, to encourage them. Don't break them down, because you never know. You could literally be the one person that changes life.
I got kicked out of art school, crazy enough. I was at Power APAC.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Power APAC for art, 4th and 5th grade. And when you have to like redo it every year, like try out or whatever. And so I wasn't accepted back, and I did not understand. And the reason was that I was undisciplined. And I feel like you can't get art wrong. Art is always right. You cannot get it wrong. But for them, if I didn't want to draw the horse that day, I wasn't drawing the horse. And so I was, to them, undisciplined. And so they did not accept me back into the art program. And so after that, I stopped drawing for probably like 3-4 years. My mom was not happy about it. And all she kept saying was, if you don't use your talents, God will take them away. If you don't use your gifts, God will take them away. And I remember the day I tried to pick up a pencil and draw somebody, and I couldn't. I had a breakdown. I was like, so from there, I had to reteach myself how to do things I knew how to do since I was little. And she was like, see, I told you, you don't use them, God will take them away. So this is a relearning process, actually. So, I mean, it's been a lot of relearning in the making. But I just say all that to say, like, if you do not use your gifts, God will take them away. You have to. You have to. Like, I don't care if you doodling on a napkin. You have to use them.
Oh, my goodness. So
somebody in art school dropped out or kicked it. I don't know how to.
So let's talk about that 3 to 4 year period.
Let's go.
Where you weren't using your gifts. You decided, hey, I didn't get the Power APAC thing. I'm done with art. What was going through your mind those years?
It was a lot of other things. I just did not understand. Like, I'm good at this. I know how to do this. Like, I could draw a person on the subway, just sit next to somebody and sketch them real quick. And I just did not understand what they meant by that. Like, undisciplined. How? I'm doing the work. I really didn't understand. I was really young too, about 5th grade. You're like, what, 10, 11? But at that point too, we also had a lot of what we talked about before, like personal, like family issues. And so for me, it was just like, this is something I can't really focus on right now anyway. I didn't think art was something it's just something that you just did. Like, people didn't take art class serious. It was just something that, oh, can you sketch me up a tattoo? Can you draw me Dragon Ball Z to stick in my binder? It was just something that I just kind of like played with, but didn't really take serious. But I had so many like personal issues in my life where it's like, all right, I need to focus on like how I'm gonna eat and how I'm gonna survive. And crazy enough, through all of that, all of like the hard times that me and my family were going through, my mom still was like, no, you need to do this. You need to draw. You need to go color, Michaela. You need to go do this. In my head, I'm like, no, I can't focus on that. We don't have nowhere to live. Like, I can't focus on that. I'm hungry. But she still was like, regardless, I want to make sure like that y'all are on y'all P's and Q's. We don't have time. So she still, regardless of everything we went through, whether we had a place to stay, whether we had food on the table, whether we didn't, that we still poured into our crafts. Like my brother, I don't know how she did it. AAU tournament still, football games. Like, my mama was at everything. She took them to everything and still found time to make sure that we still poured into ourselves.
Oh my goodness. First off,
that's where Never Cease to Amaze came from. She would sneak notes in our when we was having bad days. Some days, like, again, we would sleep in the car and she had to drop us all off to school because she was having a hard time finding employment. But I would like go through my book bag and I would pull out a note and she would write me a note and it always ended and never ceased to amaze. And so we didn't do a lot of broadcasting, like, oh, our struggle story while we was going through it, because it's embarrassing at the time because you ain't came out of it yet. But she always said that. And so every time we did something, she was like, never, people don't even know, they giving you such a hard time and they don't even know what you're going through. I was volleyball captain. And when I first got to Lanier, it was rough. I'm not going to act. When I transferred to Lanier, it was bad. But people didn't know what I was going through. When I was at Callaway, I acted out a little bit, but I still got my schoolwork. I was number 3 in my class. I was still a cheerleader, still volleyball captain. But people still give me a hard time because when I leave here, you don't know what I'm going through. I come here and I show up and I'm present. I'm making straight A's. I'm extracurricular activities. I'm not getting in no trouble. Yeah, I may slip up here and there, but you don't know what I have to go through when I leave here. When I was in there, I would give kids rides home and people would be like, dang, it looked like you live in your car. My car was junky. Or you got a car, like you really got it. Like I probably was one of the few students at Lanier that had a car, but they didn't know I slept in my car. My mom had moved to Florida. I slept in my car. Yes, I lived here. Like they thought it was funny, but it wasn't. I'm dropping you off to your house, whether you live in the hood or not. You thinking that I got it together because I have a car, but really this is where I live. I got to go find somewhere to go park it, do my homework, get up, get dressed, put makeup on so I can wake up in the morning, do the morning announcements, introduce Benny Thompson at a speaking engagement, show up, be Miss Lanier, volleyball captain, cheerleader. Like I had to go do all of these things and then leave, go work at Checkers, go home, do my homework, take AP classes in the morning. So people didn't understand that. Like, that's why I said work ethic, I don't care. I will toot my own horn. I feel like my work ethic is unmatched. Like, no.
Seriously. And first off, well, we talked about it before we got started, but I had no clue. Like
most people didn't. We did not look like what we were going through. My mom wasn't playing that.
I just want to salute your mom because I can clearly see the result of all that she poured into y'all.
For sure.
It is amazing. No pun intended. Like that is honestly amazing. So like, especially going through high school, like what was it? I guess what were you telling yourself mentally to, I guess, make it through the day so that you could show up the next day? Because it's tough, but just me hearing it is tough. So I know it's at a whole different level to actually be living through that.
Yeah.
So what was it that you were like telling yourself day by day?
Again, I think I probably mentioned my mom now more times than she probably would like to hear. And she would always say, things gonna get better. Like things gonna get better. Because we've had and we knew what it was like to have. So it was never like we were always down low and like didn't know how to get out of it. We knew what it was like to have something. And we, due to some circumstances, we had that taken away from us. But I don't regret nothing I've been through. Again, I don't think I would be as hard working and I wouldn't be as like street smart if that stuff didn't happen to us. So my mom always said like things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better. And it's one of the things where you kind of have like a public image to uphold. It's like, I got a reputation. Like people know me. So we're going to hide all of this and grin and bear it. But I also knew that making an excuse out of it and complaining about it, where was that going to get me? I knew I wanted to get out of Mississippi and have better. I knew I didn't want to be poor again. And so I did everything in my power to make sure that didn't happen. Like, so that I could help my little brothers out and try to provide a good example. Sometimes I didn't always. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. Like none of this is perfect. I made a whole bunch of mistakes, got in a lot of trouble. But it was just like, my mama always said, like, things gonna get better. She asked me to this day, like, why did y'all believe me? Because I would say that every day and things never got better. But we just did. We trusted her. So we always hope, like, things are gonna get better. Things are gonna get better. And when you look at, like, you may not be where you are today, but was today better than yesterday? Things are getting better. So it was just one of the things, like, I knew I had to get out of my situation. I wasn't going to get out of it by complaining about it or crying about it or telling the whole world, like, oh, I live in my car. What are y'all going to do? Call CPS? No, I got stuff I need to do. I got to go to work. I got to help my mom. I got to make sure we eat. I got to get my grades so I could go to college, the college I wanted to go to. So, no, I knew I had to get out of it, and I wasn't getting out of it by complaining about it.
Man, that resilience, that tenacity it's empowering to hear. It really is, because I'm a person and when it comes to excuses, like, I'm not one that enjoy them. And it's funny because I used to be the person making excuses, And I would wrap it up, make it look pretty, right? Because I'll say, "Oh, I'm not making excuses. I'm just letting you know the reality of my situation." But at the end of the day, it was still an excuse.
Yeah,
because
I lack empathy in that department. I do not. I be like, whatever. What? I lack empathy when it comes to laziness. I do not. I don't understand it.
Man, yeah. I would say that's really. I'm glad you said that because it's like one of my pet peeves. Like, really more so than laziness, it's just people being average and like not really potential and not realizing that they are made, like greatness is within them. Like they were fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, no matter what God you serve or if you serve God or not, you are a wonderful creation. Like, and you have greatness. So
it's complacency. People get comfortable.
And it's like, man, comfort is the devil for real. Like, being comfortable and being complacent does you more harm in the long run than people even realize.
Yep. Yep. You'll see people elevating around you and you be like, dang, I'm just comfortable here.
Yeah.
That has to suck.
Man, I know for me, yes, it does. But anywho, I want to take it from, we taught high school, you did what you had to do to get the grades, and then you ended up going to one of the dopest, institutions of higher learning. Although I'm a Jackson and I love Jackson, the day I die, there is another school that has my eye, and I love the culture that, y'all have built there. Shout out to all the Rattlers. Go ahead and tell us about your experience there.
Yes, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, the best school in Tallahassee, Florida, the school that sits on the highest of 7 hills, FAMU. Yes, so FAMU is where I spent my undergraduate years. Crazy. My mom I'm a 6th generation Rattler, I think 6th or 5th. My mom went to FAMU. My granddad went to FAMU. My great-granddad went to FAMU. My great-great-granddad went to FAMU. Even though we're from, Jackson, Mississippi. That's one thing I knew since I was little. Like, I'm going to FAMU, period. I tried to spite my parents and, like, apply. I applied for Jackson State and like, Alcorn. But I knew I wasn't going. I went to a spring game and, like, be out day. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, now this is it. Like, I'm hooked. I've seen Jackson State. It's cool, but it's around the corner. I want to leave. I want to see something else. And so, I tried out for cheerleading. Went to, again, another sad story. Just went to FAMU with, like, literally nothing. I had, like, enough for, like, my dorm stuff, and that was it. But made the best of it. It is one of the best decisions that I think I made for myself. Was one, going away, because the best thing about home, my mom always said, was that you could go back. Like, you could always come back home. I could always, she's like, if you want to go to Jackson State, like, go back when you finish here. But it was the best experience I ever had. I met some of the most amazing people, had some of the most amazing experiences. I got to learn about Black people, that all Black people aren't from America. I met people from Haiti. I learned about different cultures. I learned about people from, Jamaica, the islands. I just learned so much about so many different people. I had never been around so many, like, well-educated, like, Black people in one place. It was all the Miss Laniers were in one place, and all the cheerleading captains were in one place, and all the number 3s and number 2s and valedictorians were in one place. So it was like, I was nervous because I was used to being a big fish in a little pond here. But when I got there, I was a little fish and didn't nobody care about what I had going on. So I had to start over. Nobody was from Mississippi at all. You introduce yourself. And I got asked a billion questions like, do y'all have an airport? Do y'all still ride horses? Do y'all have indoor bathrooms? Is it segregated? Are you a slave? I got asked the craziest questions anytime I introduced myself, but I could connect with it was nobody from Mississippi. So I started at zero. I had to make my friends from zero. I knew nobody. But again, I was a cheerleader at Florida A&M University. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I worked with the athletic department, volunteering with the marketing department in athletics, athletic operations, and then I worked with the football team in their operations department as well. But Mickey Gant Art, it started to where I actually started making money in college, broke college student. And I had my dorm decked out, like dorm room letters, art on the wall. And so people would come to my room and be like, dang, like, who did this? And so once I told them it was me, it was just like, I started making dorm letters for everybody. It started in my dorm room, Wheatley Hall. Rest in peace, because it's not there anymore. And then it just circulated to all the other dorms. So I went from making dorm letters, then all of a sudden probate season rolled around, and baby, money. So it just circulated.
Bro, like, great opportunity.
Yeah.
For any college students that may be listening, if you do art or really whatever product you sell, if you can figure out a way to incorporate something with like probate
Greek
orders,
life? Yeah.
The money.
The Alpha probate was the first probate I'll never forget. It's the first probate I ever did. I was swamped. I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. I was in competition with this other girl who was like, let's combine each other. And she didn't do art. She would like spray paint a stick. And I still pride myself on not being a cut and paste type of person. That's how I feel about my canvas apparel. Like anybody could stick alpha letters on a board and spray paint it. But I was, hand drawn everything, every piece of fur on the monkey. I was a Gorilla 8. I was painting every wart on the frog. I was painting. I bedazzled every single detail was handmade, hand designed by me. Nothing was cut, glue, stick about nothing. Because anybody could do that. Anybody. So what sets yourself apart? So that's just kind of where it was. After that, crazy enough, I don't know if you know, Melanie Mitchell was the first person. She said, "Can you paint on a graduation cap?" I was like, I think. We did a Mean Girls themed graduation cap, and I didn't even know. Like, that was 2000, had to be 2015.
Yeah, it was.
People weren't really doing it. People were doing like the glitter and the flowers, but nobody was doing art on caps. Nowhere. And it just it blew up.
Man, that was a moment, because first off, shout out to Mel. Mel, you are the truth. Keep doing your thing, girl.
That's my profile. I love Mel.
But I'm gonna tell you, this is a funny story. I just gotta tell you off when we just talking. But
okay.
I remember that moment because I remember when Mel graduated, like her pictures went viral.
They went viral.
It was the way she held her cap, because I just remember that because I remember seeing it and being like, oh my gosh, that is so dope. Like, who did it? And then to find out that it was you, like, mind blown. My mind was blown. So, like, tell us about after that, like after it went viral, after, because again, that was like your first time really doing a grad camp. And for your first one to be that successful, like, how did that make you feel?
So looking back at it, I cringed. Like, I'm like, this, I feel so bad. I'm like, dang, I need to redo it. I made a lot of mistakes on it, but it took off. And so after that, like, I was flooded. And I was only at the time doing FAMU. So it was really, at this time, I was like, I didn't have no kids. Like, I was super hungry. So I was cranking out like 50 grad caps. I missed all the parties. I wasn't going to nothing. I was up to 4 or 5 in the morning, sometimes not sleeping, just painting grad caps. And I was just passing them out like dope. Like, come to the house, pick them up this time. I'm going to meet you. And they were just everywhere. It was, shoot, I don't know. Like, it was just, I did not know what to do with myself. I bought a car. Like, they asked, like, what you do with your first 100 mil? I bought a car. I was cashing out at the calf. Like, oh, what you want? I got it. We ain't stop on me. I got y'all. I was flexed. I acted a fool. But after that, I started, other people, I think with the power of social media, they started extending past FAMU. So I started going FAMU, then Florida State. Then next thing I know, I'm shipping a cap to like the Virgin Islands. I didn't even know how to work with customs. It was crazy. And it just, from there, it escalated. My caps were featured in BET. They had like the 25 most lit grad caps. And I was the only artist that had 2 out of the 25. And I was at home and I remember just sitting there. I had graduated by then and somebody called me and was like, your stuff is on BET. They feature you twice. I'm like screaming, running around the house. Cause it was insane. It was insane to me to have 2 out of 25 out of all the artists in the world. After that, Shade Room took win. So my stuff has been on the Shade Room. Usually every time they do TSR grads, like hashtag, I'm featured on there. And it's like, then I had celebrities like reposting my grad caps. Saweetie had reposted, Winnie Harlow had reposted. It was just a lot. Like after that, I started getting really cool. It's the cool ideas. The plain ones, I don't copy, but the boring ones don't really get no play. But after that, it was in 17 magazine, Pop Sugar. So it was on a lot of blogs, a lot of magazines. And my grad caps were like everywhere. Pinterest, I had to start watermarking. People still steal my stuff. I don't care. Once I do it, it's done. You can copy all it. What you said? You dropped the gem on the other day.
They can steal your idea, but they cannot and will never steal your execution.
Yeah,
nobody can do it like you.
I seen some that been a little better. I was like, oh, you kind of ate me up there. But, give me my credit and I don't really care because I don't repeat a cap. But after that, it was just like, it was insane. It was insane. It just started with me just doing spring, then all of a sudden fall, then all of a sudden summer. Then it was like, dang, I'm doing this year round where I have to like turn people down. I've gotten a lot. I've quit a couple times. Like I retired from grad caps because of how insane it has gotten. Like people have gotten really serious about it. I've been cursed out. Anything like talked about real bad on social media, like, oh, she didn't do mine. But it's like I have 100. I can't do all of them. Sometimes I don't do them because I don't think I could do it justice. I always get referrals. I shout out other artists like, hey, you can go to this person. But it got intense. Like I quit. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I want to paint for myself. And so I quit a few times. I stopped for a few years in between. I quit like every other year and do other stuff. I like to paint other things. So I got tired. It was a point where like, I'm tired of bringing y'all ideas to life. Some of y'all are really rude. Let me go paint what I want to paint and I'll come back. So I come back because I love to see like grad once they get the product, once we get past being gradzillas, like the finished product is again it's there. It's nothing like it. I love seeing, I don't know, I hate to ruin people's graduation. So I'm like, all right, I got you. I have a problem with saying no. Because I'm a sucker for a sad story.
Oh yeah. So,
yes. So,
I'll say we've had the success of the grad caps, and you killed it in that lane, and then you decide to make the switch and create the collegiate apparel with Campus Activity. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what was the inspiration for Campus Activity?
Okay, so when I first started, how I got started with Campus Activity, I was talking to a friend. And one thing you cannot take away from FAMU is people always make us like really cool stuff. We always got cool stuff. So I have some of the coolest FAMU jackets, sweatshirts, shirts. Like people show love. We can't even act like we don't get stuff. We do. We always do. And so I was talking to a friend, and they said like, you always got on FAMU stuff. You wouldn't even think you went to Jackson State. And I was like, I got like one crew neck and it's blue and it just say like Jackson State, which I took when I got accepted into. I bought from like the bookstore for too much money. And it was plain and I just took it. I bought it so when I got accepted to grad school, like my grad school announcement. But even on campus, I was like, I don't see nobody. Like, I don't wear Jackson State stuff because don't nobody make it. And that was really it. What I'm aware if I can't find. And so my friend said, well, why don't you make something? And I'm like, I guess. And he said, people like stuff on stuff. I don't know why you stick something on something and people go crazy about sticking something on something. He said, so stick something on something, but make it Jackson State. That's literally the instructions I got. Stick something on something, but make it Jackson State. And so when I got back home, all I had around me, I was asleep and I jumped up. All I had around me was a dry erase board and some dry erase markers. And so I drew the design. And I'd be a liar to say the design wasn't drawn before from myself. When I was a high schooler at Lanier, we were trying to come up with Letterman jackets. And I drew the design before. It was an L with a bulldog grabbing an L. And no, we didn't have enough students to buy the Letterman jacket, so it never took off. That was in 2012? But, some things are before its time. It was ahead of its time. So it naturally came to me when I was drawing the J. I was like, ooh, let's do the tiger. So I drew it. To me, it looked great on the dry erase. But when I asked a few Jacksonians, what y'all think? They was like, we're not seeing it. We're not seeing it at all. So then I tried to find some graphic designers and nobody really could bring to life what I had up here, like bring my vision to life. So I got my iPad. I found my Apple Pencil, which I didn't have. I had lost it and my iPad was cracked up real bad, really bad. And so I drew the design on a cracked up iPad. And once I made it, everybody was like, oh, nah, this is it. Like, this is it. This gonna slap. So I asked a few more people because people will tell you, people say, oh, you should make plates. And when you make plates, they don't buy your plate. So I asked a few more people just to put some feelers out there. Like, what do you think? What do you think? And I just had nothing but like positivity, you know, a few tweaks here, do this, make this more orange, make this more red, like let's do this. But overall, everybody liked the idea. And so after that, most people were like, I just need to see it. I just need to see it. And so I took a leap of faith. I used what we got, like stimulus money. I got like my stimulus, and I was like, all right, I'm finna here. Like y'all, we putting all this into it. Campus activity was originally called like Spirit Week. And it just didn't click. It wasn't giving it to me. Spirit Week gave me high school. And so brainstorming, just talking. I was like, bam, every school has a campus activities board. Why don't we just do campus activity? It hadn't been used. Surprisingly, campus activity, which could extend, I want to keep it with HBCUs, but it could extend past HBCUs. It's about college life in general. Every single school, NAIA, D2, D3, JUCO has campus activities. So I was like, it's broad, it's on brand, it's on point. I could do so much with it. And I think, like I said, I asked a lot of people. I think I asked you along the way. I asked a few friends, like a lot of my trusted advisors, just about their opinion. And shoot, we made it happen. We had some step backs. Campus activity was supposed to release in January, but my brother passed and set me back. And so after that, I remember I was talking to Malik, one of my younger brothers, and not talking to him. He drops dimes all the time. He was always dropping dimes on people, and he said something that was like, "Make sure everything you do from now on, like you do in your brother's, we do in my brother's name." And I was like, "All right, like I'm not gonna let his death or his passing make me not do it. Like now, everything I do is dedicated to him. It's for him. It's for myself as well. But like I'm not gonna let all this creativity go to vain." So I was like, "All right." We're going to push through it. So when I got back, dealt with, you know, the family situation at hand, I was sitting there like, are we launching this thing this week? Let's go. We'll see how it goes. And it sold out. That first one. We got it dropped, I sold out.
Remember. Oh, no. First off, rest in peace to your brother.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that's like. But he made a very good point. Like, and I guess that's also why when it comes to just the whole concept of average, why it just eats me up when people don't maximize their potential, because it's like there are people that are like not even living, or there are people that are like incarcerated. They don't have the opportunities.
They don't have the access, right?
They don't have the access. And you sitting here with the opportunity, the access, and most times you have the talent to do whatever it is you want to do, and you just sitting there doing nothing. Average.
Scrolling on Instagram.
And it's like, bro, like, no, that is not cool. There are people, even on your worst day, there are people praying to their God, asking if they could be in your position on your worst
Absolutely.
day.
On your worst day. Well, Michael Jordan said, we ain't come here to be average.
Mickey, I want to first off, thank you for coming on the podcast, sharing your story, inspiring the world. And before you go, I have to ask you the question I ask all my guests, and that question is, what makes you amazing?
That's such a hard question. What makes me amazing? It's that I feel like I do everything. Everything I do is out of love. Everything I do is, I was telling a friend of mine that my favorite scripture is Hebrews 13:2, and it's, be not forgetful to entertain strangers, because some have entertained angels unaware. And that's being kind to all people and treating people how you would want to be treated. And so what makes me amazing is that I treat everybody with the same level of respect. Everything I do comes from here. The way I talk to people, the way I interact with people. If you have a bad interaction with me, you did something to me. But my art, everything I think of is always from a place of here. Like, how does it make me feel? Everything comes from here. Like, I see something, it's like, no, I feel it. This is going to be good. No, I feel it. This is going to be great. It's not always what's popular or always what's trendy, but it's coming from the inside. Everything that I have, I owe to God. Like, I owe it. Like, I didn't wake up and teach myself how to do this. I've been doing this my whole life, and I can't attest that to nothing but God. And so, again, I pour that into everything I do. I don't half-ass nothing. Nothing that has my name on it, I don't. Nothing attached to my name. You know how they say everything attached to me wins, and that's the goal, and that's the mindset I have. But when I put something out there, I want people to know, like, this came from a place of love. Every stitch, every piece of fabric, every stroke, like this came from a place of love. It's come from it. If I've done it, I'm in a great place mentally. I can't make nothing if I'm bad vibes, negative vibes. I'm always in a good place when I create. I'm always in a good place when I'm in people's presence. I'm always with good energy. And so I think that's what makes me amazing is that one, anything I do, you're not going to see nowhere else. I'm not a copycat. I don't duplicate. I'm not an imitator. Everything comes straight from the heart. It's real, it's raw, but it's going to come from a place of love at that. So if you got a piece of something in my house, just know it was made with love. Like that, if you need some positive energy, I don't know if you need a stare, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a cap, just know like it came from a place of love. It came from hard work. It came from here. And this is something that like your brain, what I think my vision, nobody can see my vision. You don't know what I'm thinking of next. Nobody knows what Mickey's thinking of next unless I tell you. And so everything that is created or made has came from inception from me, which came from whatever God has instilled in me, the talent my parents have instilled in me, my family, my brothers, just everything I've been through has been poured into what I do. And nothing is going to be like something you've seen from anybody else. It's 7 billion people in the world. And if you have anything from Mickey, you are the only. So you're one of 7 billion to have something. I repeat nothing. I copy nothing. And every single piece is not manufactured. It's made like from the heart. So I think that's what makes me amazing.
Thank you for listening to the AMAZIN Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow us on all social media at the AMAZIN Podcast. We'll see you here next time.